Hello Halo Wars fans, this is my second tutorial which will explain how to rush an opponent using primarily Warthogs and Marines. I'll be playing as the UNSC, using Captain Cutter, and it will be set on Heroic, which is the hardest difficulty in the demo. Truth be told, Heroic is really easy, and I hope Legendary and the full edition is much harder. I will win in pretty much 5 minutes. Oh, and I'll be facing the Covenant, who is using the Prophet of Regret. A quick start is always important. Here I'm building a supply pad, building an elephant, and a reactor. Sending out my Warthog to scout for resources, and my elephant's going to be used for creating Marines. Here I'm setting my Warthog to gather resources from the next area after it's finished with the first. To do this, press and hold X over the next batch of resources, like I just did. You can set it to move to as many areas as you want. I'm playing as Captain Cutter, who is one of 3 people you can play as in the UNSC. There's also Sergeant Forge, and some scientist chick, I don't know her name. And they all have different special abilities, like Forge has the, not a Mac beam, but a carpet bomb, and Scientist has a cryo bomb, which freezes units. So I just made a supply pad, and my elephant's done, so I'm going to deploy it, and when it's in deployed form, it can produce Spartans, Marines, and flamethrowers. But with elephants you can't research improvements for your units, you can only train them. The barracks is where you research improvements, and I didn't make a barracks because it takes up a spot where I could be making a supply pad or something useful, or like a reactor or something like that. So as you can see, I just researched Gunner, which puts a machine gun on the back of the Warthog. So now I'm training Marines with my extra money, and I'm going to set the global rally point by double clicking on one of the analog sticks. I can't remember which one. I have to have the controller. I'm too lazy to go get it. So I just finished researching Gunner, and he's done getting resources there, so we're going to send him off to scout for more. Send those Marines off to scout for more too. Try to remember where the resources are placed on the map because they're in the same spot every time. I mentioned that in my other tutorial. Now I'm starting to build the Warthogs, and I'm going to get my other scout to keep collecting resources. And you always got to make sure that at your base, you're always making more supply pads or another building of some kind. You don't want it just to be sitting there. It's kind of useless. Now I'm getting my Marines to keep looking for resources. Make a few more Marines. You can jump around the map using the D-pad. You can jump to your base by pressing up, or sideways I think. Jump to your hero unit if you're the Covenant by pressing up. And by pressing up as the UNSC, you access the Spirit of Fire panel and all of its special abilities, including the Mac Blast, Heal and Repair, Transport, and a bomb that prevents the Covenant's hero unit from using its god powers. Now I'm starting to produce more units because I'm getting ready to attack. I got a lot more money, so I'm producing units faster, mostly Warthogs and Marines. I'm trying to make sure that all my buildings are building units at a constant rate, so constantly Warthogs, and with the extra resources I'm making Marines.
Warthog ready to roll.
There's the enemy scout. If you don't eliminate this by the end of the game, you're gonna have to wait 1 minute before you can claim victory, because it'll be just doing that. Oh, there's the enemy trying to launch a counter rush.
Local units.
Too bad you can't really make a successful rush that early in the game with such a small force like that. Really won't do much.
All units.
They won't have much hope. Watch the Elite Honor Guard. These are actually really powerful units. They're the Prophet of Regret special unit. So much as tanking that Warthog there. Everyone's shooting at it too. And I'm using grenades, the grenade special of the Marines, to grenade the Prophet to take down shields. Keep producing units. Yeah, they're pretty much done. They also got Jackals, which are good versus infantry, but I got my Warthogs to take them out. The only way to counter an Elite Honor Guard is if you have aircraft, pretty much, or you're in a sniper tower, because they just stand there and look at you. Now that their army is taken out, they got nothing to defend their base. I'm going to launch a counterattack and destroy them, hopefully.
Sir. Marines on the ground, sir.
Yeah, you always have to keep coming back to your base to produce units and keep a constant stream or they'll just die off.
Marines ready, sir. Warthog.
All
So I'm going to
units.
get these guys up to the front. And then I'm going to set the global rally point so your guys aren't just grouping up back there,
Local
not
units.
doing anything.
Yes, sir.
Eat them up as fast as you can. So yeah, since they launched a counterattack, they have no defense to their base. So it's easy for me. Oh, and as you just saw, you have to remember to keep using the Marines' special ability, which is
Ready to roll.
the grenade ability, which just tanks the Covenant base.
Ready to
And as you
roll.
saw, I just made a Spartan before, and Spartans aren't as good as most people say. They're only good versus vehicles and aircraft,
Local
because they can
units.
go and jack them,
Local
just take over
units.
them. It looks really cool. But infantry, they aren't that good. So use the grenade ability again as soon as it regenerates, because it does a lot of damage to the Covenant base. Gonna make another Spartan.
Fired up.
The Spartans are good, don't get me wrong, but they're just not as amazing and cheap as everyone says they are. I don't know. It's my opinion. And you can only make 3 of them, so it's fair. Yeah, the graphics are really good in this game, as you can see. Well, you're watching it on YouTube, so you might not be able to see. If you're watching in high quality, you can kind of tell. So now their base is destroyed. I pretty much won in 5 or 6 minutes. There wasn't much competition after the early attack.
You are
So there you go.
victorious.
After the game, you can press A to look at stats. And there's the score, military, economy, whatever. I'll be producing more Halo Wars strategy and tutorial videos once the full version of the game comes out, which I pre-ordered. Till then, see ya! And check out my other Halo 3 machinima.